and welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers, and this is Citizen Sleeper. And in the last episode, we did things that I can't remember. What did we do? We helped Bliss. Ooh, we were able to find the rest of the stuff for Emphis, which we have given him, thanks to Bliss. We met Yannick, and we now have some work to do for him. We can patrol the block, but first things first, oh yes, I forgot, we've got the hardened agents to deal with as well. Okay, so we can do a 4, we can do a 6, so let's do that. Okay, so we can slot one of those in. Okay, and then we've got yet again an agent, which we will get the data for because we can sell that. Oh, you're a 5. We can do that as well. Okay. Okay. So yes, so we can speak to Feng about that. The other thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna come up here. And we're going to pay the 80 cryo to cross the gap to the Greenway. As you step out onto the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down, as if daring you to respond. Sorry. She adjusts a strap on her shoulder, holding up a hand in recognition before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. We need a voice. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek! Esh stands down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrows to you. Esh, please. Do you want everyone on this station to hate us? Esh hardens. They wanna hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Cordon? Pete gestures in your direction. See? They don't even know what you are talking about. This station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Ash sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get these supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Peek explains. Peek! Ash rolls her eyes. What are you doing? Peek ignores her. We're with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Ash interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk, and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there, and they turn to Ash. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Ash interrupting, but Ash turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. Peak finishes. That's difficult. Peak forces a smile. Peak, please! Ash gathers herself in the supplies. Ash, we need help, just like the refugees needed us. We need others too. They smile at her. Peak turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briar is docked at the broken spoke, past the Greenway and the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Ash turns to leave and Peak follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Ash shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies, or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Ash already picking up speed as Peak calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla. Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Okay, so we have the Greenway. So we can walk the Greenway. Oh, going green. Let's stick that in. There we go. We got some energy. Nice. And we're halfway through going green, which is good news. The farm stacks. Okay. So we can steal the harvest, work the stacks, or barter for food. We have the Haifa commune, where we can work. We have the wild margins, where we can search for signals. That's for Enkita. We also have the wastes. We can't gather scrap. And the climbing briar. Ah, I'm fairly certain. Ooh. Yes, this. So this storyline, the Peak and Esh storyline, was added episodically, and the most recent one I think was a little before Christmas. But so I have started this storyline, but I haven't seen it through to the end because when I played, the story hadn't been finished. So we're just gonna have a look. Yeah, see, that's all blocked out. So we can't do anything here just yet. Well, we could start that story, but we're not going to. We're going to speak to Feng. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenna. It doesn't look good. Feng seems to be explaining something, but Jenna is having none of it. She points to the door and Feng walks away, catching your eye as he turns. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now, let's take a look at what you were really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the ripperworms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you on the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway. Conway, Feng says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it. This is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait. What's this? A wasteland reclamation facility. Right here on the eye? He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? Conway is set up here? I'm guessing so. Got themselves set up in the wastes. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way, around the rim, past the Greenway. He shows you this on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on their system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago. moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. Why work with Hardin? Access? Old connections? Not sure. Feng looks back at the screen. But if Hardin is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Feng stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Hardin has been planning has to be there. And we're going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by the Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a massive scrolling code. I've been working on it fixing my brakes. He winks. Feng grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out of the door. Walks out the door of the temple without looking back. Cool. So we've got an upgrade point, so that's good. And we're going to speak to Emphis as well. Emphis is preparing the griot caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe. He says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish-white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper, he smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match the same feeling, and maybe you will feel better for telling it. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which, despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but just can't bring it to mind. Emphis nods throughout, cooking as he does, with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realise you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphis finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the griots into it, their yellow colour mixing with the pale sauce in whorls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat, in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that S&R left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate the human experience, you know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted, and yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphis takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the bright market, somehow changed. Okay, have we got another task? Yes. So we need some different mushrooms, which I believe we can get on the thing. I'm gonna buy 2 lots of scrap. just for the why nots. Now, I think we've got some Havenage data. Yes, in fact we've got Yatagan and Havenage, so we can get some money back. Okay, I must have cancelled it before it got there. And was it Tampa Tea House? Yes. Okay. So if we rest, in fact, if I do that, I think that still leaves me with 4 dice for the next cycle. It does. Okay. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. He looks back. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. Alright then, we're in business. He pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. Has to. He looks down. If it doesn't, is Bliss okay? He frowns. I don't think so, but she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be... He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. He shakes his head, and I would hate not to pay back my debts. Moritz stretches. I gotta get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Okay. Now, we do need to do the side rail bridge, but while we're here... is that a Yatagan? Yes. We're going to take that. Because it's a good thing for us to... that's a Yatagan, so that's a 3, isn't it? It's a good source of cash for using duff dice. And we're going to head up. Ooh. Okay. Okay, both are repeatable. In fact, if we're lucky... Oh, okay. Oh, solar window. The selected launch window for the Starwood Vector's main voyage is closing. This one is going to be tight. Okay. Right. Okay. There's not a whole lot we can really do because we haven't got the energy, the dice for it. We need to work on the Annex Trust, but I think we need to focus on if I put 2 scrap in, I think we get 5 dice. Possibly. Yeah, we do. Sweet. Okay. Right, let's head up. Okay. So the 5 will give us 6. And the 6 will give us 3. Which means we're halfway through. Can we be lucky? Okay. That'll do. agent. So we can extract that data. Okay. And if we find a Havenage agent, get some Havenage as well. Okay. So we can come to the offices, sell this. Because we're going to need to go and get some energy. Right, I'll leave us 2. What's this? Nothing. We do need to build the still. Can't buy any scrap though, and they're off this time. Alt exchange. So if we eat, okay, and then what we'll do is if we do that, it gives us the 5 dice again. Yeah, I'm not sure we've got enough to actually make it through. Oh, that's not great. Okay. Okay. Is there anything that we can do? Barter for food. Okay. Danger. Nope. Okay. Service dock. Oh, waiting for Feng. For commune. For member. Wild margins. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking. Yeah, gather scrap. I'm thinking we kind of try and finish up what we've got going on over here first. Yeah, so what's that? 4 cycles. Okay. I am going to grab a stabilizer. To use 2 scrap to get. Okay, let's go with the 4 dice and we'll see how we get on. Okay, we can deal with that. So let's go here and get some energy, and then we'll sort Bliss out, because obviously that one's against, that's got a time limit against it, so we can put that in. Yep. And we can put the 5 in as well. We did it. Amazing. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, and aching idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible. She punches you on the arm. I never thought we were gonna make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. We make a good team. Bliss smiles a winning smile. As the lock's inner door clunks open, Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Moritz has been the one ferrying tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper, Bliss, he shakes his head. Impressive. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Moritz, she winks, for believing in us. Moritz rolls his eyes. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. He shoulders some of the gear that came back in with you and Bliss and heads to the racks to stow it. Bliss turns to you. I think you should be the one to do the honors. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Moritz assembled. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she is genuinely nervous. Don't worry. I'll stop worrying when the chits are in my hands and I'm giving them to a gimbal bartender. You slide over to the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing, what you were doing through the flickering, cracked display. But after a moment, you see the accounts. And there it is, almost 1,000 cryo sat in the base transfer account. Well, Bliss calls. Have we been screwed again? We did it. Bliss kicks off from the floor and spins up into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Moritz by surprise, and he knocks a rack apart, scattering handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something, glinting steel catching the work lights like glitter. Sorry, says Bliss, grinning when she comes back down. I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell the produce. We made a tidy profit, eventually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo for them. This is your cut. Bliss hands you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles. Even when I couldn't. When you first met me, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push. But now this place is sparking again. Work is coming in. There are funds in the accounts. Even Moritz has a spring in his step. You both look over at him, happily racking up tools. That's because of you. She punches you on the arm. He likes you. He's a good kid. He isn't bad, is he? She leans in closer. You know, he came here looking to rob the place. I gave him a job instead. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. I just thought it might help you understand the kid. Moritz turns to look at you, and both Bliss and you awkwardly wave. Maybe it's time to change the subject. You gonna be okay? Me? Always. She looks away. From here on, it's going to be a little easier. I'm going to look for some component contracts. Stuff that will keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You want to cash out? That's fine. But there will always be work here for you when you need it. I appreciate it. She smiles and then out of nowhere quickly gives you a hug. She steps back and glances around reflexively. Take care, she says, softly. You too. You turn to leave. And Sleeper? Yes? Don't spend that all at once. Oh! Yowzers. Okay, so we have 3 upgrade points. We're going to take the photosynthetic skin and we're going to take that. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Right. So, let's run a 4 on there. Nice. Oh, we got an energy back as well. And then here we'll put a 1 in. Yeah, that's fair enough. Nothing in there, we're waiting for that to come in. So let's just grab some food. Okay. And we will sleep. We can sunbathe and get some energy back. We can inject the stabilizer, or we can use scrap. Now we're gonna use the scrap because now that we've got Bliss done, the time penalty is less. Okay. So here we've got the sidereal horizon. Getting us some money. Havenage. Yet again. Okay. And what else? Okay. Low end. We can play Tavla. Yeah. If we're lucky, we'll get. We won't complete it. No. But we did win. Oh. Oh, derelict unit. The half-built unit looks long forgotten. A project that never made it. With enough scrap, you might be able to seal it up. Well. We might as well. Because we might end up with a place we can call our own. Okay. We shall sleep. But that is all we've got time for, unfortunately. Those are some good looking dice. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. I do try and get videos up every single day. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.